So this video is just about some stuff I noticed in Alex here. So some of you were doing your homework and I was looking through it, and some of you got the problem wrong by just writing it in the wrong form. So this was one example of those where they give you this phrase here, give the exact answer in terms of pi. So when you see this phrase here of give the exact answer in terms of pi, I'm going to show you here kind of how they're expecting you to write your answer. So this says on the circle it has a center of O, the radius is 3 meters, and the central angle is 160. What is the area of the shaded region? So we want the area of this sector here. Now it is a sector problem, so we have the following formula, right? We have the area of the sector over pi times r squared is equal to the degrees of the sector over 360. So this is our formula. Let's go ahead and label up this picture here. I'm just going to kind of redraw it here. So O is in my center. I have my angle is kind of like this. And it says the angle measure is 160. So angle measure alpha, which is right here, is 160. And it says the radius is 3. So these little lines here are 3. Let's go ahead and put this into my formula here. So I have the area of the sector, which is something I don't know, so I'll put x over pi times 3 squared is equal to the degrees over 360. So here's the only change you have to make here when they say this. Give the exact answer in terms of pi. Or when they say don't round, something like that. Basically what they mean is they want you to keep pi in the problem. Do not multiply pi into the 3 squared. So here's how that would look. You would do x, 3 squared is 9, right? So you do 3 squared is 9, so you'd write 9 pi. You would not multiply this together and get a decimal. Basically, I want you to avoid using decimals like that. Just multiply it as 9 pi and write it as 9 pi equals 160 over 360. Now, again, you can still cross multiply like normal. And then here, you would do 9 times 160, so 9 pi. But again, you don't want to multiply the pi in there. You want to keep that by itself. So you do 9 times 160, which is 1440. 1440 pi, I'm just going to keep it out there, is equal to 360. Basically, think of pi as its own little variable. Pi is a variable, essentially like x or y. You would just keep it along with the ride. 360x, and then divide by 360, divide by 360. Now again, in this case, you're not going to multiply pi in there. What you do is just divide the numbers. Again, think of pi as like a variable almost. So 144 divided by 360 is equal to 4. So you would write down 4 pi is equal to x, and that would be your answer. That's what you would write into Alex and press enter, and then it would say that your answer is correct there. Again, the reason they have you do this is because it's a lot easier to write out 4 pi than it is to write out whatever the decimal would be. So if I do 4 times pi, that's a little bit harder of a decimal to write out than just saying 4 pi. So if they say, now if they say you can round, like round to the nearest tenth or something, then by all means go ahead and multiply in the pi, get your decimal, and do what you normally do. But if you see this phrase, either on this problem or other problems like it, but if you see this phrase of give the exact answer in terms of pi, that means they do not want you to multiply pi into the number. They simply want you to keep it outside, tagging along for the entire ride. This is another reason why I want you to upload your work for your highest scoring quiz as well into Google Classroom. That way, in case you accidentally do this and you just don't catch yourself and you keep getting it wrong, at least on your work, I can kind of see that's what you're doing and still give you the credit because you're doing the problem right. You're just not using pi as a variable. You're multiplying pi into the numbers themselves. But I just want to make a quick video showing you that and why that is the way it is. So again, hopefully this will clear some things up for you there. And I want to kind of make more of these dealing with Alex just so you know kind of what it's expecting you to do because it's really the same work we've been doing, just the verbiage is a little bit different. So I'm going to kind of work on alleviating that, and hopefully this next section will go smoother because we're going to start off using Alex, and so I know how to phrase my terminology, I know how to phrase the stuff I do in the video, so that would link together better with, excuse me, the type of problems that you can expect to see. Hopefully this helped you out. Have a good night. Oops, wrong one.